Well, massive thanks if you've been following on live tonight, and if you're watching later, we'll do our best. It might be a bit of a short show tonight, but it seems like there might just be something wrong with the month of April, and certainly not the result we wanted over the weekend. Certainly not the start we wanted tonight, but it's okay. We're in the second month of the season. We've only played a few matches. There's plenty of time to go. This is the podcast of the 2021 USL Cup champions. This is the Orange Black Soccer Cast. Look, sometimes it takes a village, sometimes nothing works, and sometimes Ray, who is not here tonight, bails you out. I don't know exactly what's going on. Who cares? Enough listening to me. Let's get our co-hosts on. And first up this week, Brad, looking very studious with some books in the background, and Larry, looking bald and bearded as ever, I guess is the way I should put that for you.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a prospective move, and unfortunately that leads to packing, which unfortunately leads to making a mess of rooms that you're in. So I decided to clean up a little, and you know what? My dusty room with scarves on the background was really just covering up some bookshelves.
Got it. Out of curiosity, really quickly, you say prospective move. Does that mean that you are thinking about moving, but you're still packing all your stuff up?
No, that means that we are definitively moving, but we do not have a place. We're not moving town. We're not moving anywhere. We're just moving from an apartment to a house, and it takes a village to move. So
I see. It takes a village to move. Well, as the resident Venetian, that's definitely not the term for someone that lives in Las Vegas. I don't even know where I went with that one. I think as host, I just get Ray's super power of just making words garbage. So, Brad, run us through a quick recap of Saturday night's match for anyone that might have missed it.
I would feel awkward if we didn't let Larry introduce himself, but you know what? Larry doesn't get to. Look, this game really struggled from an Orange County perspective. There was a lot to be excited about. I think Sia played an absolutely amazing game, creating opportunities that other players weren't doing on the field. Christian Hagart took an absolute headbutt to the head in the box, and somehow we didn't get a call. And beyond that, the team itself, there was a lot to look forward to, but it also, unfortunately, a lot of kind of reminders about a little bit of some season pass struggles. I hate saying the name here in negativity, but I really do think that this was probably one of Kyle Scott's worst games offensively on the team. Defensively, Kyle Scott's an absolute stud. He made some amazing tackles out there, and really, he's not a liability defensively. Offensively, though, I think he could have been a little bit more patient with the ball, and unfortunately, also definitely had some passes get away from him. It happens, unfortunately, the game's not entirely on him. It's really not on any player. The scouting report to this game said Vegas likes to counterattack, and they had a counterattacking goal in the 93rd minute where they scored, and it was like the one opportunity we gave them all game.
Well, they had a few, but Larry, to the bald and bearded one, as we watch the highlights here, we see Orange County's best chance of the night.
Yeah.
I know you've spoke about it on Instagram Live a few minutes ago, but run us through our shortcomings so far and our shortcomings in this match.
Yeah, the shortcomings. One major defensive mistake at the very end of the game is the glaring shortcoming for this game. I don't think that the team played badly. I don't think they played great. They played very mid. Let's go with mid. I'm going to go with some young speak there. There was moments that were absolutely fantastic. That save from Shuttler right there that we just saw in the replay. Usman Silla on the ball, just making some incredible moves. Uh, God, I can't wait to see him and Cameron Dunbar on the pitch for 90 minutes together. They are going to give defenses nightmares, absolute nightmares. One thing that was not a shortcoming, and I said this on the live feed, Liam McKinnon. Liam McKinnon showed some electricity out there, and I'm going to repeat the exact same words I said on the live feed when I was talking. He showed just enough moments, just a few, showed exactly why he was the USL League One Player of the Year and Golden Boot winner. This guy, God, please get healthy. Please give us 75, 80 minutes soon, because he's going to put balls in the back of the net. He is going to light up the scoreboard. And I think once that happens, we get Dunbar back. We've got Dogman back on Saturday. We're going to have our struggles. We're going to have another period of time during this season where we all go through this and we come on the show all mopey faces and the team sucked this week and blah, blah, blah. It's for 3 weeks in a row. It's going to happen. That's the nature of this game. That's the nature of being fans of this team. But there was enough crappy stuff that we saw that, not Brad touched on it, not controlling the ball well enough, not keeping the ball well enough, giving it away too easily. Just those can go by the wayside, and we can just move forward and we can think about the positives, like what we saw out of Usman, like what we saw out of Liam McKinnon, like what we're going to see out of Tristan Traeger when he's back and healthy too.
I'll give you that. And I think if we look at the match against Monterrey as a complete failure, which I think is what happens when you lose 3-0 and one of your better players gets sent off with 20 minutes to go. If we look at the match against Las Vegas, while it wasn't pretty, while we still can't seem to finish our chance, we are trending closer to a good result. To continue looking forward, it's only a few days till match day at this point. Sac Republic, they're coming to town, and they're also having a bit of a mixed bag. Neil Collins took over the winter, for anybody that wasn't paying attention. Currently 1 win, 2 draws, 1 loss. And they've had their own... this might be harsh, and I can't wait to be criticized by some of their fans, but I feel like their own struggles in getting things going particularly well. 1-0 loss to Tulsa, and then just managing the 1 goal against Louisville over the weekend. Brad, you were once up this ways. From what you've seen as just generally a USL spectator this year, what are we looking for out of this match?
Yeah, honestly, Sacramento, a little disappointed with their start this season. A little bit of a tough schedule. Started off the season 2-1 win against New Mexico, then played a 2-2 draw against the reigning champs Colorado. The loss against Tulsa is a little bit of a shocker. Fortunately, didn't get to watch it. And then when you have a game against Louisville, you're always going to get played tight. Louisville did have like a last-minute gasp score by Dia that kind of got on the social medias, Reddit in particular, the Louisville fans to play a little bit of the jokester card on the Sacramento fans. With that said, Christian Pirano's on this team. If you think that name sounds familiar, well, guess what? That's the same Christian Pirano who played many a year with San Antonio, won a championship down there a couple years ago. Other players, Russell Cicerone is still, with the team, been there for a long time. Luis Fernandez, their midfielder, also still with the team. So a lot of very familiar faces with Sacramento. And like you said, the biggest name change of the year, Neil Collins is in as manager. He used to be coach of Tampa Bay, went overseas for a little stint before returning back to America. And look, Neil Collins is one of the best coaches in the league. This team will figure out how to play their brand of soccer. Obviously, just like us, it seems to be taking a little bit more time than necessary. Uh, to beat Sacramento this weekend, we really need to figure out our identity on offense, because it really does seem like we have two different styles in the making. We have the very free flowing Ryan Dogman down the side, Kyle Scott playing in the defensive midfield, and then other players such as Scylla and Dunbar who bring the ball forward. And if Liam McKinnon is healthy and in the lineup, uh, hopefully he takes more of the Milanowski style of scoring. Now, the one name I didn't mention there is Ethan Zubak, and I love Ethan Zubak. I think he is an outstanding player, but his style of foxy offensive box scoring doesn't really fit in with the team right now. It seems like if he can't get a heading opportunity, then there really is no opportunity for him. And obviously, with Dogman missing the Vegas game for a red card suspension, didn't really have that many opportunities for him to make an effort in the box there. And as a result, he got very lost. Now, do I think that Zubak is one of our better forwards? Yes. Do I think he's the type of player we need in this offense? No, I think we do need that Milanowski-esque type of scoring opportunity who's going to create their own shots. And I don't think, unfortunately, that's Zubak. I think that's more of a Liam McKinnon role. So if he's healthy, I hope that he does take more of a front and center stage there.
Larry, I would love a hater's perspective here, and I think you can provide that for me. Brad, thank you. And I agree. I think we're maybe finding out no Dunbar, no Party. And I think Ethan Zubak might be feeling that way right now. But Larry, what should we hate about Sacramento, and why?
What is there to like about Sacramento? I mean, come on, look, Neil Collins, big deal. What has he won? Has he lifted a trophy in the USL Championship? He has not. Russell Cicerone, I mean, yeah, okay, he can score some goals here and there, but he's probably better at making a pizza. Let's be honest. Roro Lopez, he's back after being injured for a while. You really want to put any faith in a guy named Roro? Come on now. Let's be for real here, folks. Danny Vitiello, he's just a mini me. That's all. He's got that bald head and he's got the beard, and it's not that impressive. In reality, Sacramento's a hell of a good team, and all those names I mentioned are very, very good players. I can't go on the hater rant very long because this is a dangerous team that's coming in. This is Sacramento. This is one of those situations where it's Duke and North Carolina, and Duke is 31-3, and North Carolina is 3-31, and North Carolina kicks the crap out of Duke. You never know what's going to happen in a game with Sacramento. For example, last year we had a goalkeeper in goal making his first career start in front of 20,000 people on their whatever anniversary it was, and he pulls a clean sheet, and Seth Kasipli scores a goal. Unheard of. You just don't know what's going to happen with this team. And I agree with Brad. We need to find some identity offensively because for the last 180 minutes, we have not had any at all. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. And let's make fun of a guy named Roro. Roro, what is that?
I love it. Larry, I do want to point out that was actually 2023 where Juan Santana blanked Sacramento in there. But I don't want to take it away from you.
Was it that long ago?
It was, in fact, that long ago. He's an adult now. He was only a child when he pulled that off. But
yeah, and I'm old. I forget stuff.
Yes, that's accurate. Realistically, again, if we're looking at it, 5 goals for, 5 goals against. Sacramento's a real mixed bag, and I think, to harken what Brad said, they're trying to figure it out. Orange County's trying to figure it out. But I think expectations of both of these teams are really high right now, and I think it feels obnoxious saying this 4 matches into the season, heading into the 5th match, but I feel like both of these managers are probably feeling a little bit pressure to get the most out of their team. If you go back and you watch Saturday night, Danny Stone's trying to get the most out of them. It feels like maybe some sort of his message isn't getting across, and he was asking them to just be a little bit quicker with some of their decisions, a little bit more on top of it. Obviously, they weren't quite on top of it enough, but it's all to play for, and back at home no less. So, Brad, as the keeper predictions, who's winning this match? What's the score line, and any other final thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately speaking, I think we're incapable of keeping a clean sheet right now, and I think we're also incapable of scoring more than one goal, based on our last couple performances. I know that's a little harsh to say, but as a result, I'm gonna just say 1-1, and this is the first time this year that I'm actually gonna put on my heel hat and say we're not gonna win a game this year.
I don't even know what to say to that, to be honest with you, Larry.
Not gonna win a game?
Well, not going to win this game. This is the first
game.
time I'm saying we're not going to win a game that we are talking about.
Yeah, okay. See, I not only am I old and forget stuff, I'm old and I can't hear. I don't think we're going to win this game either. I don't. Team's not meshed well the last couple of weeks. I bought the blue jersey. I've worn it twice, and it's been pretty bad performances both times. So I will not be putting the blue jersey back on. It's my fault. It's absolutely my fault. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Let's find a score of this game. Do I think we're going to lose this game? I'm going to go with Brad. I'm going to agree with Brad, and I'm going to say 1-1. But there is a very, very good possibility when I submit my prediction, it's going to be a different score. So we're going to put it right here live because I want our boys, to know that I have total faith in them. Guys, if you're watching, I have total faith in you. Let's go, fellas. You got this. 1-1.
Larry, you seem incredibly nervous when you say that. I'm going to give them a lot of credit here, and I'm going to back the team. I'm disappointed in both of you for not doing that in this situation, and we'll consider it your standing on the podcast as a result. But I'm gonna pull out a 2-1 win here. It's nothing special. It's certainly not the prettiest. I'm with you, Brad. I don't think we're getting a shutout right now. I think we're a piece or two away from that happening, whether that's a signing or just figuring out and getting our best 11 healthy. But I do think we have some goals in us, and I think it's about time that we see him again. It's been a few weeks. Joseph in the comments, he's predicting a 1-0. I will take this time as well to remind you, submit your predictions. I did not submit a prediction over the weekend, so that might have been my fault that we lost. I don't know. I'm still going to pin it on Larry for the blue on break hit, but it's not a huge deal. Mikey with a 1-0. So apparently we are the most critical of the club right now, and we don't think they're going to get good results. Actually, you two don't think they're going to get a result. I think 3 points is on the way. Maybe just not.
I never said we won't get a result. I just said it won't be a full result.
You just said we won't get a result this week. A good result this week. But that's fine. That's
a draw on the road isn't a good result against a perennial USL legacy team.
We're playing at home, Brad.
A draw at home against a perennial USL championship team?
You had me thinking it was October 2025 right now. I was wondering where the year had gone. Don't put that evil on me. My shirt would already be off if the game was this Saturday. You know that. That's a deep cut for you guys there. Anyway, let's keep looking forward. This time next week, AV Alta. Hopefully no fisticuffs in this match, but it's Open Cup time. I haven't heard anything about a one-off jersey that we're going to wear for the Open Cup run.
Yeah, let's not do that again. That didn't go well last year at all.
It was a bold decision, but I want to commend them because it was nice to get away from just having, a black or white shirt for a few years there. That being said, this is Orange County. It's the Open Cup, so it's pretty unpredictable as to what's going to happen. That being said, it went pretty well in the preseason. Now we're playing for, I was going to say for points, but that's actually not true. We're playing to advance. So, Larry, as I believe you were actually at that preseason match, what do we have to expect here?
That preseason match against AV Alta, that was literally their first match ever. Okay, they had never been fully on the pitch as a team against another team. I don't remember what the score was. I know that I don't think OCSC played particularly well that day. But I'll tell you what's going to concern me about this game. Number one, it's the U.S. Open Cup. Anything can happen. We know this. Did y'all see Eli's video from Antelope Valley when he went to their game? Anybody?
Unfortunately, I did not.
I mean, this is a podcast, so I feel like you should probably tell us what happened in the
Well,
video.
that's what I'm asking. If you guys saw it, you know. AV Alta, they had a huge crowd at their game. I don't know exactly how many. I didn't think to look it up earlier, but it was huge. They've already got a huge supporter section. They had a march to the match. Orange County is not going into some Ventura Fusion game where there's 14 people in the stands. They're going up against a legit USL League One side that has a brand new, seemingly rabid fan base. Now, granted, it's Lancaster. There's nothing else to do in Lancaster. So, of course, if there's a professional soccer team, they're going to go watch that because, again, there's literally nothing else in Lancaster. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. I think there's a McDonald's. Now they have soccer. So I think that we need to be conscious of that fact. We all know what a home field advantage means in a soccer game. And when we as a team are not playing particularly well, and if we don't have a good game on Saturday night, and God forbid we lose Saturday and we go into this first round game on a three match losing streak, that's not a good way to start the season. Having said that, I think we should be able to come out of that game with a win. In a perfect world, hypothetically, we'll keep our fingers crossed and we'll hope that the traveling CLC members, because I think there's some people who are getting on a bus and going, hopefully they make enough noise to make a difference.
Yeah, I would say try and get out to this match if you can. First real look we'll get to see. But of course, while this team is brand new, they're not unknown. Miguel Ibarra and Elijah Martin, formerly of San Diego Loyal, rest in peace. Alexis Cerritos, who at one point played for Orange County. I believe he played all of 20 minutes, but did draw a penalty at some point. These are all somewhat known quantities at this level, and this isn't just a team of random guys, a la what NISA might look at. So, Brad, what do you expect from, admittedly, a slightly older Miguel Ibarra, but still a guy that did play quite a bit of time for the U.S. national team, for Minnesota? I believe he spent some time in Liga MX as well. And, what's your key to victory in this?
Yeah, to answer your first question there, I expect a little bit more out of Miguel Ibarra than whatever team Des Moines puts together every year for their Open Cup runs of, your Daxes and your 37-year-old plus U.S. men's national team stars that want to play one game. Beyond that, I really don't know what to expect. I know that they're going to be a absolute, fun game for the away supporters to go to because they are currently very well attended. I did manage to catch the highlights of their last Open Cup game where they scored in extra time and the whole stadium went crazy. So, very passionate supporters group coming out on a midweek game against a relatively, nobody team. I believe it was against the Ventura County team or Los Dos, as collectively they are known. Beyond that, this should be a good tune-up game to keep, flexing Orange County's muscles. It's not a cakewalk game, but if the team can't perform against this, who are they ever going to perform against?
You two are such downers. I really wish Ray were here tonight so he could be just as incredulous. I think this is a good time for Orange County to maybe not be in a good run of form. Obviously, because it's April and, come September, we can't be doing this. But look, if we don't know what our best starting 11 is, and we have a chance to play on short rest, that probably means we're going to see a couple of faces. And there are probably guys sitting on the bench right now who are saying, like, I deserve a chance and I will make it count. It's going to be a hard fought match, but having guys on the bench, having people come into this match and want to win this, I think negates that home field advantage. I think it really negates that underdog, that David versus Goliath, if you will, that AV Alta is going to have. They're going to want to come into this match hard. They're going to want to unsettle Orange County and come away with a relative giant killing, as much as one can have a giant killing playing a team that's literally only one level higher than you. But if nothing else, this is a chance for Orange County to maybe jumpstart what the season's actually supposed to look like. And maybe getting some one-off kits was not the way to get some magic of the cup, but it is time to get some magic of the cup. While I close our little chat on the U.S. Open Cup, does anybody know who the Open Cup is named after? Larry, I mean, you might have been alive while this guy was alive, so hit me. You got any ideas?
Lamar Hunt.
Yes. Do you know how many siblings Lamar Hunt had by chance?
11.
Unbelievable. Larry, smartest man on the show when DK and Nathan aren't here. All right.
Wait, hold on. Was I right?
I do believe that you were right.
I literally just threw 11 out.
I know might have been the 11th kid, but the point
I know who Lamar Hunt is. 11 just...
Look at that. We're a history podcast too. Please check. They're probably not right. He might have been the 11th kid. Anyway. And other Orange County news this week, Bryce Jamison has, well, in a way, he's moved on. Larry, back to you on this one.
Yeah.
Let us know what's going on.
We have sold Bryce Jamison to Colorado, and I could not be any more happy for this young man because he's earned it and he deserves it without question on both of those points. What's even better news is that they are loaning him back to us for the remainder of the season. So this is why we hadn't seen Bryce play all season until Saturday in Las Vegas. Orange County was making sure that nothing happened, that he stayed healthy, so that the transfer went through, because it was, from everything I've heard, and we've had some anonymous sources throw some stuff out to us, it was a very, very sizable transfer fee for Bryce Jamison to Colorado. So couldn't be happier for him. He's such a great kid. He's such a terrific player. He's got such a bright future. And keep in mind, he's a baby still. He's 19. He's got a lot of time to make even more of a name for himself and have a nice long career in the MLS or moving on to something bigger from MLS. But so happy for him. So very happy for him.
Yeah, I love it. Commerce City or whatever weird Denver suburb that the Rapids play in, he is going to absolutely torch some washed fullback or even some up-and-coming fullback. He is going to kill it at that level. I'm hoping we get to see a handful of them this year before he makes that jump up. Brad, any thoughts on the man we've seen for a couple of years now?
Yeah, look, he's got all the talent in the world. He's a fast kid, and he deserves this move. I thought he was going to go to Europe. I know that there were some connections there. However, the MLS is still, for the time being, a jump up over USL, especially in terms of exposure for, career and the scouting levels. So happy that Jamison's staying with the team for the conclusion of the year. We get to see him, shine a little bit more. But, on to bigger things for him. Also, while I have the here, I did fact check your 11 kids, and it looks like you went a little bit too high. It looks like he had 3 brothers and a half sister for Lamar.
Oh, yeah, I have some bad news. He was the 10th child. He was one of 15. Actually, I forgot about the last.
Find this information?
The last 4. Well, this is going to divulge. We're going to go so far off topic. So we're just going to talk about this later, I think. But hey, look at that. Everything really is bigger in Texas, including the families. Gentlemen, I'm going to call it here a short show. So thank you to all of you who waited for the live show tonight. I promise next week will be better. Probably any week I'm not hosting will be better as well. But what did we learn, Brad?
I learned that Wikipedia might lie to me if Lamar Hunt has more than 3 brothers.
Larry, what did you learn this week?
I learned that in a pinch, I can go live on Instagram page and try to keep people engaged just a little bit so that they don't hang up the phone on us.
And in a positive, I learned this week that the pathway to pro is alive and well. Bryce, I wish you the absolute best of luck in Colorado. Any final thoughts from you two gents?
No, man, just on Saturday night, for those of you who are still here listening to us chatter about right now, be loud, be obnoxious, be a disruption, and let's. I know I'm predicting a draw, but let's help our boys get 3 points. They need it.
Yeah, again, don't be a Brad. This match will be at the Champ in Irvine, Saturday, the 12th at 7 p.m. Do not drive to Sacramento. There will not be a match in Sacramento. Don't waste your time coming here. And I will not be at Cal Expo, so do not come here. I will see you all in 6 months if you feel so inclined. Anyway, for Brad, for Larry, for of course Jared from Sac Republic, who couldn't make it tonight because of our own technical difficulties.
Sorry, Jared.
Yes, sorry. Let's think of this show as the end of the chaos and the what is going on of the 2025 season. Let's look forward to Saturday and to next Tuesday, and let's get this show on the road. For everyone, this has been the Orange Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.